Alright pranksters, with most kids going back to school very soon, how about we go through 20 awesome life hacks that will most definitely come in handy this upcoming school year. That's right guys, here are 20 school life hacks for the classroom. Before we begin though, why not support this channel by subscribing and turning on all notifications? One last thing, I would really appreciate a big thumbs up. Let's get started. Writing for long periods of time can be exhausting and will definitely take a toll on your fingers. So if you don't have a pencil cushion available, you can make your own. All you need for that is some eraser caps like these, and I will be using 4 for this demonstration. All you guys need to do is cut off the rings and slide them on your pencil one by one until you have formed your very own pencil cushion. These will make writing a lot more comfortable. Up next, we're going to be creating a simple cardboard folder by recycling a cereal box like the one you see right here. We'll begin by undoing all the flaps to open up the box. With a pair of scissors, we are going to cut out one side of the box, so now it will have 3 sides instead of 4. It's already taking shape as you can see right here. The bottom flaps, we are going to fold inward and staple them in place. These will be our pockets for our folder. As for the flaps on top of the box, I will fold them and staple them as well. You guys can even cut them off, but I figured it was way easier just to keep them on. At this point, the folder is ready. See, it works just like a regular folder. Of course, it doesn't have the 3 rings, but other than that, it works great and you just transformed a cereal box into a folder. Here, let's pretend that one of your classmates' pen ran out of ink. To help them out, you can easily share your own ink by splitting the ink tube from your pen in half. It works just as great. Just assemble both pens with short ink tubes and you just did a good deed for a fellow classmate. These days, fidget spinners might be old news, but they have multiple uses. For example, one thing you can do with them is if you're in geometry class or art class, it can help you create the perfect circle. Just place your pen or pencil through one of the bearings and you'll be able to trace a perfect circle. You can also place your pen or pencil on the outside of the fidget spinner and you can make smaller circles. If you have a lot of push pins and don't have a box or container to put them in, here's a great method to stay organized. Just grab yourself an eraser like this one and start lining them up on it. The eraser idea is a great way to keep your push pins in one place and you don't run the risk of poking yourself with one of them. Whiteout can be very important, especially if you're always using a marker or pen to write with. For example, here I made a mistake and I will easily fix it with my trusty bottle of whiteout. Well guys, here's a better way to carry your whiteout with you. Just take the cap of a Sharpie or marker you no longer use and fill it with some whiteout. Good thing the applicator is already attached to the cap. So snap both caps together and we are almost done. Just tape your new whiteout container to the pen or marker you were using and that's it. Basically now you have 2 in 1. When you're writing and you make a mistake, you no longer have to reach into your backpack to get your bottle of whiteout since it's already attached to your marker. Have you guys heard the saying finders keepers? Well, I don't always believe in that, but when it comes to pencils, it's a different story. So if you're ever walking down the hallway in school and you find a pencil, it's got no name on it, well, why not take it and keep it, right? The way you do that is basically you take a pair of scissors and start shaving off the paint from the pencil till it looks like this. It won't be recognizable by whoever lost it and they won't have a reason to confront you about the pencil. This next hack we are all familiar with. Next time the eraser on your pencil is all worn out, just use a rubber band as an eraser. And a very convenient way to do that is to take 2 white rubber bands and staple them on your pencil like I'm doing so right here. Just remove the excess rubber band and you have yourself a pencil with an eraser. Though it might look a little odd, it's not about how it looks but rather if it works or not, and this hack never fails. Carrying your school supplies from class to class can be hard at times, especially if you don't have a backpack. But hey, if you at least have a 3-ring binder, here's what you can do to solve that problem. Just go into your kitchen and get yourself a ziploc bag like this one. Roll up the bag from the bottom 3 to 4 times and then staple it in place. At this point, you can take a hole puncher and make 3 holes through the folds. Now you can easily hook your ziploc bag on your binder. Just put it through the rings and close them. Slide open the bag and put all your essential school supplies in there. And lastly, just lock it up and you've just simplified your life a bit using this life hack. Carrying your school supplies around school will be easy from now on. Once you use up all the glue in your glue stick, don't throw it away, guys. There are many uses to a glue stick container, and here's one of them. You can easily store a lot of paper clips inside, just like this. This is great for your supply box, especially since space is limited. Earlier in this video, I showed you how to make your own pencil cushions using eraser caps. Well, here's a different method just in case you don't have any erasers available. If you're always writing for long periods of time and your fingers start to hurt, just grab a white rubber band like this one and wrap it around the area of use on your pencil. Once you get to the end, either tie it or tuck it underneath and it should stay put. Now you'll be able to write for longer comfortably. This is a very common issue in the classroom. You are writing and getting your work done when all of a sudden the lead on your pencil breaks or wears out. Well, let's say you don't have a sharpener handy. The simplest thing you can do is grab a pair of scissors and start shaving off the tip till enough lead is exposed and you can resume using your pencil. You may not get the sharpest point, but it will totally work in an emergency. Hopefully your school allows you to carry such scissors in your supply box. Has this ever happened to you? You have a stack of papers you want to staple together, but when you try to use the stapler, you find out that it's out of staples. Well, here's an easy way to attach your papers together without the use of staples. Take a thumbtack and pierce a stack of papers with it, right near the corner where you normally would staple the stack of papers. Once the thumbtack has fully pierced the sheets of paper, push down on it on a hard surface. Basically, we are gonna bend the thumbtack. It should look something like this. The thumbtack will act as a staple and will keep your papers together and organized. Scissors are very important when it comes to doing arts and crafts. So if you're in art class and you don't have any scissors available to cut out an image such as this gingerbread man right here, then you guys can resort to a pen for help. That's right, guys, just take a pen. Here I'm using a pen that has a very sharp point. Here's what you will do. Place a piece of paper on a hard surface that won't get scratched and start tracing the outline of the image, but press really hard on it. The pen will pretty much act as a hobby knife and make a precise cut just like this. Push out the image and you have successfully made a cut without the help of any scissors. Again, if you're in art class and you're working on a project that you need a glue but you don't have any glue available, well, at this point it would finally pay off to be chewing gum in class, because that's what we're gonna use for our pasting needs. For example, here I have to paste this teddy bear on this piece of construction paper, so I will divide the gum into smaller pieces and use that as paste. Works just like regular glue but not as messy. If you find yourself doing math equations and instead of using a pencil, you are using a pen and end up making a mistake, you'll have to use whiteout to correct it, right? Well, what if there's no whiteout available? It's simple, guys. Just reach into your backpack and grab a bottle of glue. Cover the mistake with glue and let it dry and the problem is solved. This is a very clever way to keep your pencils organized, especially if you have lots of them laying around. Get a spiral notebook you no longer use and start removing the spiral. It's simple, just undo the ends and start twisting it off. Should come off fairly easy. With the help of some thumbtacks, attach the spiral onto a wall like so. Now you have yourself a little pencil rack where you can hang all your pencils. Look how simple and easy this is. This is great for you neat freaks out there that love to stay organized. Let's say you have a lot of loose papers like the ones I have right here, but you don't want to staple them together because you might need to unattach them later on at some point and you don't want to damage the corners on the page. Well then, use this method. You'll need 6 thumbtacks and 3 pencils. Basically what we're going to do first is wiggle out the erasers from the pencils. Stack up all the pages and take a thumbtack and pierce one of the erasers to join them together. Now take the eraser and put it through one of the holes on the pages. On the back, you will also need to pierce it with another thumbtack. You will repeat this process with the other 2 erasers, and that's all there is to this hack. It will keep your pages together like a book. Lastly, here I'm going to show you another simple method to recycle an old glue stick container like the one I have right here. You'll also need a large eraser like this one. Basically what we're going to do is cut out a few pieces from the eraser that will fit inside the glue stick container. You can do this with a blade, but just be careful. I was able to cut out 2 pieces from the eraser and they look like this. I'm going to push them in and that's it. You can put the cap on and people will think that it's just a regular glue stick, but in reality it'll be your eraser, which you can use easily. What I like most about this hack is that eventually the eraser will get worn out and shrink. Well, that's when you twist the bottom of the glue stick and it will push out more of the eraser. It's very handy to have. And those were 20 simple life hacks for those of you who are going back to school. Don't forget, pranksters, that I have lots more hacks and DIY prank tutorials at my channel, so check those out, and to be able to keep up with me, click on the subscribe button and have all notifications turned on. I will see you pranksters in my next video.